So I.E.L.T.S training center here. Here is American I.E.L.T.S training center. As you know, we have 4 tests in I.E.L.T.S: reading, writing, listening and speaking. Now what you are going to see is the I.E.L.T.S speaking test. It consists of totally 15 minutes is given, 10 to 15 minutes. What you see here is the speaking task has 3 parts. The first part is you enter the room, interview room, the examiner introduces himself and he checks your name. He asks questions on general topic. It lasts for around 4 to 5 minutes. The part 2, you are given a written task card. A card is given to you. You are given 1 minute to take notes and you should speak for 1 to 2 minutes. At the end of this task, the examiner asks you questions. The time duration is 3 to 4 minutes, including 1 minute time for your preparation. And the task part 3 is a discussion between you and the examiner. The examiner discusses with you about the abstract issues which are linked with the part 2 question. And the time given is 4 to 5 minutes. Now here in the speaking task, what does the examiner wants you to do or what he expects? See here, the examiner speaking test is same for academic and general candidate. You should know that people go in for writing I.E.L.T.S. It is for academic and general, and speaking task is common for both academic and general candidates. Number 2, the interview is recorded to monitor the examiner. And in part 1, what you should speak. Short answers are expected in part 1. General topics on hometown, your family, your job, etc. are asked in part 1. See, here are some of the topics given here. Sample questions in part 1. Say about your education. Say about your education, what you should see. Say you should speak for around 1 to 2 minutes. Say all about the education which you have experienced as a child. You should say the school you went as a child. Is it a co-educational school which you have studied? Your favorite subject as a child. What was your favorite subject? Some it may be mathematics, some it may be English, some it may be geography. And see, who was your favorite teacher? Most child are they have some attraction towards some teachers because of their subject. And who was your favorite teacher? You should say about your teacher. And educational system in your country. In your country, it may be 100% government or 100% private, or you may have government and private oriented educational system. You can say all about that, the CBSE pattern, the Tamil state government pattern, the mother tongue subject oriented school system, English medium schools, Anglo-Indian schools, and the is it better our educational system, that is your educational system which you have undergone, is it better than foreign educational system? Or you can compare and say the pros and cons. This is the topic. So it is a general topic about your education. The examiner asks you a question, you speak about all about the education. And number 2 is say about your hometown. You may hailing from different parts of India. They may ask you about something, some special features about your hometown. See, what is the special about your hometown? What is special? Where is it located? What's it known for? Why is it so popular? What do people in your hometown do? Are they agriculturists or industries? What are the main industries in your hometown? Agro-based or sugar? Or what else is there? Iron industries, coir industries, some have textile industries. You can say about all those things about your hometown industries. What are the advantages of living in your hometown? What are the plus factors? What are the problems your hometown faces? For example, Tirupur, you can say, the problems they face in Tirupur. And next, compare your hometown with other towns or cities. You can take your hometown and you can say how better it is compared to other towns or cities. Number 3, describe about the weather in your country. It may be cool or hot. You may hailing from a hill station. You may coming from a plain. You should say about the weather in your country and generally in your hometown. How is it? What's the type of weather in your country? So generally they may ask about your town, or you may ask about your country as a whole. What's in your country? Do you like hot or cool climate? What type of climate do you like? You like to go in for a hot or a cool climate? And what's your favorite season of the year? 4 seasons are there. Which season do you like and love? Do you like the rainy days? How do you spend your time? Do you like it? What do you do when it is very hot? So the questions will be on general topic. You subdivide and try to find out what are the good answers, which is very attractive, which is quite interesting for the examiner. So try to give those type of questions. Now I may ask a few questions to you, sir. Let me be the examiner and you be the candidate. And the question first is, could you tell about the educational system in your country, please, sir?
Yeah, my name is Vijay Kumar. The education system, to talk about the education system of my country vis-a-vis the developed countries, in fact, what I feel is the education system what we have currently in India is far better than the other education system what is prevailing in other developed countries. Some of the countries even try to emulate our education system model to those countries. One of the best features of our education system is the guy really put a lot of efforts during his examination days, and in fact it tries to learn a lot during the examination days. That's really worth enough. In fact, in other education system this particular practice is not prevailing. That's why I feel that Indian education system is far better than the other country education systems.
Okay, good. As a child, what type of experiences you had, and your teachers, could you tell about the favorite subject which you liked?
During my school days, in fact, one of the favorite subject was to me is mathematics. The reason why I like the mathematics is the way in which the mathematics professors takes his session is fabulous. He take all the sessions in a very seamless manner. He used to quote all these theoretical aspects he used to link the theoretical aspects to the practical problems what we face day in day out in the life. That way I could able to sense a better understanding of the subject and develop a lot of interest in the subject.
So mathematics is your favorite subject, and
Absolutely.
you landed up in as what? As software engineer now?
No, I am basically a cost accountant.
Cost accountancy, the mathematics and related with cost accountant is very much interested in mathematics, resulted over here as a cost accountant, chartered accountant. Good, sir. Could you tell me about yours? Tell about your hometown.
Hello, this is Suresh. My hometown is a place called Chennai in the Kanchipuram district. It is a very nice place. It's a combination of both village and town. I had a lot of relations there, many grandfathers, grandmothers, uncles, aunties, everybody. Whenever I go there with my family, they give warm welcome and they treat very much. The hospitality is very good. There are a lot of industries in my hometown. It's an industrial area plus cultivation agriculture area. We have poultry industry, we have sugarcane industry, we have rice mills industries. Apart from that, we have a lot of cultivatable lands. Nowadays, they are facing a lot of problems like water scarcity, power scarcity, and insufficient laborers, etc. When I compare my hometown with this city, there are a lot of advantages. My hometown is a place which does not have any pollutions. It's a place of away from work ethic. It's a place of good life work balance. I like very much my hometown. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Chennai is a town and you are a software engineer now, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, now you has come to city and you have traveled all around the world, many parts of the world you must have, isn't it? You might have.
Yeah.
Okay, for various software programs.
Yes.
He has traveled almost many countries. Good. And could you describe about the weather in your country? You introduce your name and start.
Yes, sir. I am Sangeeta. In my country, have 4 divisions of the weather, like as winter, summer, spring, and autumn season. In that 4 seasons, I like very much in the spring season. That season only we have no pollution, lot of pollutions. That's why I like the season. But other the 3 seasons not fair in our country. Especially the hot summer season is very hot in our country. In that reason, the old age peoples and children are very much affecting this season. And the rainy season is also the children are affecting because of the roadsides, and we are getting more pollution, typhoid, dengue, and dengue fever, and others are we affecting the winter season. The autumn season we are getting more pollution because of that time the cars and lorries are polluting our country. That's why I am liking this spring season.
Okay, you like the spring season, other season you don't like, and you're not quite comfortable over here with this climate, right?
Yes, sir.
If a choice is given, you may move to some other place.
No.
No, you like this weather and this climate. Good, good. So all three of you have spoken within 2 minutes. Quite nice, and it should be spoken within 1 to 2 minutes. This is the first part. Dear friends, you're going in for speaking task 2. It is part 2 speaking task. The examiner will give you a task card. What do you mean by task card? There may be number of cards, and he will give you one card. And he asks you to speak on a particular topic. There may be varieties of topics. You are supposed to speak on a particular topic. You are given 1 minute to prepare and take notes. 1 minute is given for you to prepare the notes. And what you have to do? You take the card, you take a paper, you just write down the points, what you are going to speak. It's a must for you to speak for 2 minutes. It's a must, because you already paid and you go there, take the examination. It is a speaking examination. It's 2 minutes. After the candidate finishes the speaking, the examiner will ask 1 or 2 questions and finishes part 2 task. So the task card is given. So he is supposed to give a speech on that particular topic. Then the examiner, after he finishes the his speaking task, the examiner will ask 1 or 2 questions based on the topic too. In total 4 minutes are given, including 1 minute for preparation. See some of the topics given here. Describe a newspaper or a magazine you enjoy reading. Daily papers are there, morning papers, evening papers. Magazines you have bi-weekly, weekly, bi-monthly, monthly magazine. So which magazine you enjoy and describe about it. You should say which part of the paper you read regularly. Some people love to read a sports section. Some people love to go in for reading a movie section or front page or the advertisements. So it depends. So when and where you read it. Some people love to read in their home just immediately after waking up. Some go in for their office, and some take and read in their bedtime when they are sleeping. So what is the language of the paper? Your mother tongue vernacular language, or you can go in for, you may read English papers, Tamil, Hindi. Why you enjoy reading it? What type of magazine or paper it is? So you should say, is it weekly or monthly? And number 2, describe an important choice you had to make in your life. You have 2 options, whether to go in for this job or that job, and you have to tell about that, or you want to resign, or you want to continue the job, you want to go to a foreign country or stay in your country, you want to marry a girl or a boy, or a girl, and your choice. And you have to describe what is the choice. What do you have to choose between? What do you have to choose between this or that? And whether you have made a right choice. After that, have you regretted that choosing this one is something bad you shouldn't have done? You should say all about it. How do you feel when you made the choice? So was your feeling at the time of choosing? And the third topic, you can go in for this. They may ask you to describe something healthy which you like doing, gymnasium or yoga, meditation, jogging, cycling. You can say anything and anything about that, and you can say why do you like that, and how and what way it has developed your health, and what way it is popular in your place. Describe a sport or a game which you like doing. You can say about your cricket or football, whatever it is, and describe someone in your family whom you like, your father or mother. You can say about your mother, why you like your mother. You can say her characters, your uniqueness, and how she is in your family, what she has contributed for the family and for you, and why do you like her. You can describe about her personality, outer and inner personality. 6. Describe the movie you like, Hollywood, Bollywood or Collywood, Hindi or English or Tamil, whatever the movie is. Why do you like the movie? What is the special features about the movie? Is it action movie, is a comedy, a romantic movie, climax or anticlimax? What's all about the movie is all about. You have to describe everything about the movie. 7, describe the musician you like. In India, we have a man, Maestro, Mr. A.R. Rahman, who has won Oscar award. You can say about any musician whom you think is the best. Describe the museum you like. Say about the religious function in your country, religious functions, Pongal, Diwali, Ranchan, then what else? Christmas. You can say about any religious function in your country. 10, describe about your country's culture and compare it with the other country's culture. You can tell about Indian culture compared with American culture, European culture, and what's plus and minus. How do the females live over there, here, the children brought up? The number 11, which transport system do you like? Transport system. You have road transport, you have air transport, you have water transport, and you can say which transport you like the most. Educational system in your country, you can say how is your educational system here? IIT, IIMs, universities, government, private. 13, say about air, noise and sound pollution. You can say about that. 14, how to save the wild animals and forest. 15, advantages and disadvantages of science. An enjoyable event in your life. You can say some of the beautiful moments you had in your life, something which is unforgettable, something which is cherishable, something you have the sweet memories to think often and enjoy the moments. 17, say the saddest moments in your life. You can say when were you disappointed, or you are you had the feelings of the most unpleasant experiences in your life, that you can speak about. So varieties and varieties of topics. So some of the topics we have given here. So you try to enhance your speaking ability by practicing. As you keep on practicing, you will get that what to speak, how to speak. It's meant for 2 minutes. Dear folks, in I.E.L.T.S, the speaking task, the examiner checks you whether you are able to speak for 1 minute or 2 minutes about a topic, a general topic. So that's the reason he has given. See, some of the topics we have given here is about email. So he asks you, say something about email. So what do you speak about email? You can say, the questions may be, do you send and receive email regularly? What do you do with the internet? What are the advantages of email? What are the disadvantages of email? And do your people in your country use internet much? And do you do shopping through internet? You can say how internet has come across the people's life, and what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, and what proportion of people are using. Is it in cities, in village, schools, college students, and working people, housewives? You can say all about that within a 1 minute. You have to club all the matters together and try to speak within a minute. So the next topic you can go in for, he may ask you, say something about your close friend. You can say who your friend is, how long you are friends, and how do you meet each other, and what are the common things between you and your friend, and what do you both do together, where do you go, and is it your school or college mate? You can say anything about your friend. What are some commonalities between you and him or her? The next is marriage. This is most often asked question in part 1. Marriage. Say something about a marriage you last attended, and what type of dresses the bride, bridegroom, and the people wear during the marriage. Usually, if it is Hindus, they wear silk saris, and the bride wears a dhoti, and the people who come for the marriage usually wear silk saris. You can say all about that. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of marriage? Marriage, nowadays we can see live-in relationship, we can see people living alone, and each religion has its own way of marriage. Christianity, Islam, and you can say what are the advantages and disadvantages of marriage, and do they give a dowry in the marriage in Hinduism or Christianity? What's the dowry methodologies? What are the varieties of food items in marriage? Marriage is something to be cherished, and you find varieties of food, especially in Hindu marriage, and Islam you find biryani, and Christianity marriage you find the same type of varieties of food served during the time of marriage. You can say about that. Say about the alcoholism, drinking alcohols, smoking, drug addiction, child abuse, etc. in your country. You can say all about the evils. of smoking, drinking, alcoholism, abuse, drug abuse in your country, who are affected, and what are the government steps the government is taking steps to avoid and eliminate this drug addictions. Number 5th is a place which you like to visit. Most often asked question. Say about the place which you like to go. When did you first visit the places? What is the what are the languages they are speaking, and what is the culture they follow? You can say in our neighbors, China's there, Pakistan, you can say Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Singapore, Malaysia, and what are the countries and how the people live over there. Next is the travel. Do you like to travel? What type of places do you like to go in for? Traveling to different places. What type of places have you traveled so far? What are the places you have traveled? What type of transport you use while traveling? Some love to travel in a ship, voyage in a ship. Some like to fly, some like to take on road by car. So sports. Do you like sports? Which sports is most popular in your country? You can say what is the sport which is most popular in your country, and what's your favorite sports. And especially in India, you find people love to watch cricket, the majority in fact, and football. 2 states like Kerala and West Bengal, they practice football. They love to go in for football matches. Then you can say about tennis. So whatever it is your sports, you can say, do you participate in sports? Do you enjoy watching sports? Those questions you can say. Then television is the main media where people spend most of the time on television. What type of programs you watch in a television? How many hours of television you watch in a day? And in the television, what type of programs, like a Discovery Channel, you can say, a sports channel. Then what else? NDTV, CNN, Sun Music, Sun TV. So you can say what are the things you watch in television, what are the advantages, disadvantages, and how it is, how does it entertain you? Is it informative or is it spoiling the youth? You can go in for the topic tourism, you can go in for the topic shopping, you can go in for the topic festival, functions, clothes, music, cinema, cricket, politics, religion. So varieties and varieties of topics are there. You should be good in speaking at least a minimum of 1 minute or 1.5 minutes without any break. The examiner checks how good you are in general knowledge, how good you are able to arrange the ideas, how your ideas related to each other, are you speaking confidently. So this is the most important. Try to practice this.
I would like to talk about a marriage function which I recently attended. One of the colleague marriage function I recently attended, I could able to see the amount of money what these people nowadays spend, for marriages is really exorbitant. I could able to see the food items what they are placed, it's really literally get wasted irrespective of the age of the people. They just keep serving the food for all, and ultimately all the food items are getting wasted. Another one thing which I could able to really see is the amount of money what they spend for dresses, especially for the bride and bridegroom, is phenomenal, and it has been really gone up over the period of time. In fact, we have used to see this type of occasions. Now this is really exorbitantly the amount of money what we keep spending on marriage is really increasing, and in fact a lot of people wants to showcase their wealth by conducting this type of marriage functions. Probably as a citizen of a truthful citizen of the country, we should also have some sort of restriction on spending, or probably we should understand the inequality prevailing in our country, and accordingly we should try to prevent some unnecessary amounts being spent on this type of marriage occasions.
Okay, dear friend, are you married? Yes. So how's your marriage? you didn't spend any much money, or same usual? Same. Okay, my dear friends, and what you have seen is part 1 and part 2. Now what you're going to see is part 3 in the speaking task. In the part 3, what you are going to see is here, the examiner initiates the discussion of issues which are related to the subject of the candidate. See, task 2, a card is given. Based on that, he will be asking questions. And task 3 here, which are related to the subject of the candidate, he may be asking questions. The candidate is required to give longer answers. It is not yes or no answers. You should give elaborate and a very good long answers. The discussion lasts for 4 to 5 minutes. So the task 3 goes in for 5 minutes. In speaking part 1, part 2 and part 3, the examiner will check your English language level in speaking using the below 4 important points. So the examiner checks your how good you are speaking based on 4 important points. What are the 4 important points? How do they evaluate how good your speaking is? Based on 4 topics. What are the 4 topics here? Pronunciation. How do you pronounce? The candidate should speak clearly. It should be clear, crystal clear. The examiner checks your words. Are you using appropriate words? Is it the parts of speech? Sentence pronunciation and the country's mother tongue influence in his pronunciation. See, you may be coming from the far India, south of India. He may be coming from the North India. So they may check how your mother tongue influence is shown in English language. So you should try to avoid that. So based on these 4 tasks, number 1 is pronunciation. Number 2 is coherent presentation and fluency. What do you mean by coherent presentation? It is something arranging your ideas according to order. Coherent presentation is to check how the candidate arranges, links and organizes. Coherent presentation is made easy by using conjunctions, pronouns and connectors to form sequence of ideas. So number 2 is coherent presentation and fluency. Number 1 is pronunciation. How do you pronounce the words? How do you pronounce the sentences? So what are the voice modulations you make? So this is the first part he checks, the examiner. Number 2, the second part the examiner checks is how clearly you are arranging your ideas according to order. Are you confused? Are you using one idea and other idea in a separate way? And he also checks the interlinking words like connectors, like conjunctions, because he since not only but also, although, even though, either, neither, the pronouns and to form sequence of ideas. These words are used to connect different ideas, so you can present it in a coherent way. Next, fluency is to check the speaking speed of the candidate without any pause. You should not make any pauses, not much of pauses. You can have few pauses but not much. Number 3 is grammatical accuracy. It checks the ability of the candidate of using tenses, present, past or future. Something you want to say about something happened in the past, you have to use in past tense. So they check your tenses, the structure, how the subject verb structures, the clauses and the subject and verb agreements. Subject and verb agreement means what? Singular noun, singular verb. Plural noun, plural verb. So you have to see that agreement. Then the third is vocabulary, sorry, see D. The fourth one is vocabulary. So the examiner will check your vocabulary power when you speak, that is the words and word forms, and how the candidates speak in different ways. So he checks the word power, the vocabulary power of you. So these are the four ways the examiner checks how do you pronounce, how do you coherently present, your grammatical accuracy and the vocabulary. Based on that, you get a score in speaking test. So this is how the methodology. You have seen the task 1, task 2 and task 3.